Hi, my name is Martin, and the claim that I will be responding to is that access to legal abortion is beneficial to women. And my opponent has two secondary claims. The first one being legal abortion protects women's health. The second one, where abortion is illegal, women seek dangerous alternatives. To respond to the first claim, the advocate states that in 2008, 94% of births involved complications, and she got this from an article called 5 Common Labor Complications, written by Professor Greenfield. This piece of information was used to prove that abortion process is safer than birth process, but the real message that Professor Greenfield was trying to deliver was that these I'm quoting from Professor Greenfield, most complications are irrelevant and have no impact on the health of the mother or the baby. So the advocate misinterpreted the message and therefore misleading the audience. And even in the article, it lists the 5 common labor complications, and it gives possible solutions to these complications. But even if the solution can't be obtained, the complications won't affect the health of the mother or the baby. Therefore, the reasoning was incorrect, and the evidence does not show that abortion is safer than birth. She gave a second evidence for the secondary claim. The advocate mentions that during the abortion process, women report no complications, but she does not provide information about women's health after the abortion. And I did some research, and I found that a lot of women experience mental health issues, and these statistics are coming from health research funding, that women who go through abortions compared to women from a general population have 81% more likely to have a mental issue and 3 times more to commit suicide. And about 45% of women who had an abortion report that they had suicidal feelings after the abortion process was complete. And teenage girls are 10 times more likely to commit suicide. Therefore, abortions significantly negatively impact the woman's mental health. So, leading back to her original claim that legal abortion is beneficial to women's health, well, it's not beneficial to women's mental health because it damages it. And responding to the secondary claim where abortion is illegal, women seek dangerous alternatives. She first mentioned that in the United States, before abortion was legalized in 1973, women seek illegal abortion from unlicensed medical practitioners. But she just focuses on one alternative that they used, which was illegal abortion, which was a dangerous alternative. But she did not mention any other alternatives, and not mentioning one that's adoption. And she also didn't mention how many women during the time that abortion was illegal had an abortion. And according to the chart provided by Robin Johnson, during this time period, the rate of adoption was significantly larger than the rate of illegal abortion. So during this time that abortion was not legal, there was a lot of adoption, and that's the alternative that women went to because abortion was illegal. And the second evidence that she shows is maternal mortality rates in Latin America, but I'm not sure what she meant by this when she showed the evidence, because there was no warrant to provide her reasoning, so the reasoning portion was missing. But I did some research on it, and I found that according to World Health Organization, 75% of the rates are due to severe bleeding, infections, and high blood pressure, and only 10% of that is from illegal abortion. So this information shows that although illegal abortion is a dangerous alternative, not a lot of women go towards that route. And going back to my previous point, adoption is an alternative that women take, and is safer. It is a safe alternative. So That was my refutation on the axis of illegal abortion is beneficial to women's health. Thank you.
All right, the structural stuff is all fine. On the first point, you've got a direct argument about the evidence that the advocate used, suggesting that it's been misunderstood and that there isn't really a significant risk for people who are having who have live births, that the consequences there aren't more harmful than abortion is. And then you've got a good counterclaim suggesting that abortion does have some significant negative effects on mental health, and you had some statistical information to suggest that. I don't remember if the advocate had any preemptive arguments on that point. This definitely seems like it's a counterclaim that applies to the secondary issue here. I would imagine that there would be further debate on this if we were having an additional speech, but like I said, I think it's the right kind of argument to develop here, and that you had some good evidence to support that initially, so that's solid. On the second point, when you're talking about the women seeking dangerous alternatives where it's not available, when you're using historical examples, I think that there's always a context that needs to be included here. Prior to Roe versus Wade in the United States, for instance, that's 1973, there are a lot of different social and cultural conditions that existed. I thought that you did a good job developing the argument about adoption. So you're back there somewhere, right? You actually had a nice statistic that you presented on that issue, and I think that that makes a lot of sense there. I do think that you missed some opportunities to talk about some other issues. Like one of the main ones is contraception. Since 1973, we have a vast variety of new contraceptives that are available, alternatives that are available for both men and women. The notion that pregnancy should be occurring on a regular basis by accident seems like that's maybe an alternative that ought to be explored a little bit more, and suggest that maybe the absence of abortion as available or additional restrictions on it might encourage people to be more conscientious in their use of contraceptions. I think that would be another way to develop that. That's another alternative. But the one you developed I thought was pretty good. I don't know that the advocates, I don't remember what the advocates' evidence on these points were, and I don't think that you cited very specific information, except that at the very end you had one piece of information that suggested that a lot of this is falsely attributed to illegal abortions when it's really something else related to the pregnancy. That seems to contradict your original claim, though, on the first point. Yeah. So that's a little confusing. I'd have to think about that one. Okay. Thank you.